Anybody can be a farmer. The things that you need to know before you get into farming. One, you know, when you get into farming, the first thing you look at is success. Farming is not for the lazy. Some lessons have to be taken while seated. We have to discuss everything while seated because they don't need any physical training, any physical activities. That's why I chose to come to my boardroom, where I usually rest in the evening or early in the morning before I start farming. So many of you have been asking me what they need or what it takes to be a farmer. I've been receiving so many emails, I've been receiving so many messages, I've been receiving so many DMs, and it's the same question. And I think it's the right time that, to my knowledge, I try to answer you, or I try to be honest with what it entails to be a farmer. Because being a farmer is a profession just like any other profession. Being a farmer is a business just like any other business. There is no magic in farming. There is nothing special about farmers that no one else can do it. Because some people usually say people like Fred are the ones who are qualified, or they're the ones who can do better in farming. That's a lie. Anybody can be a farmer. Learned, not learned, went to school, not went to school, young, old, boys, girls, anybody can be a farmer. The first thing that you need to know, or the first step that is tested when it comes to farming, or when you want to get into farming, is the mentality. And talking of the mentality, it is a positive mentality. Talking of a positive mentality is a mentality that I'm here to do this business, not I'm here to make a profit. Those who've learned business knows that there is ups and downs in business. There is making profit, there is making losses in business. But now, some people somewhere want to come into farming only to make profit. You want to come into farming to make profit. People like Fred have been into this industry for almost a decade now, into farming, and with all our experience, we make loss, we make profit. But you want to come and hit a jackpot, a 100% profit. That is not possible. You are not going to hit a jackpot. I better tell you the truth. You are not going to hit a jackpot. The truth of the matter is, have a mentality that this is a business and we are coming here to face it as a business until we make a profit, or to make sure we don't make losses. At least we can maintain our investment. We don't make losses, we don't make mistakes, because losses comes with mistakes. You do a mistake in farming, you make a loss. You do a poor timing, you make a loss. So don't get into farming if you are a gambler. If you are gambling, don't try that. Don't try that. You stay in your gambling, do other businesses that you want to do, but just farming will break your heart. It's breaking our heart, and we are here for many years. So what about you? You want to come and gamble with the investment you have, or with the capital you have, and hoping that you are going to win in the first round. Sometimes you'll be beaten. Yeah? You'll be beaten, you'll be knocked down. Technical knockdown, TKO. Farming will knock you down first round, because you are a gambler. So let's get into points, or into the discussion on the things that you need to know before you get into farming. One, the first thing, farming is not for the lazy. Yes, farming is not for the lazy. That's the bare truth. Because you are unable to perform in other industries, you are unable to perform in other businesses. Now, you have an option that I can go to farming because I cannot do this and this, I can go to farming. In fact, farming is for the adults. If you know you are lazy, don't come into farming. Don't get into farming industry. It is going to break your heart and you end up breaking your back. Yes, and you end up being crippled. You break your legs. So you will have a broken heart, broken back, broken legs, and the neck. So an earthworm with zero bones because of the bones in your body have been broken. So even teeth. You are going to break your teeth. Yes. So avoid coming into farming if you know you are a lazy person. Am I clear? I know the point is very hard, but you have to digest that before we go to the second point. Two, the second thing, you know, when you get into farming, the first thing you look at is success. And success, like I told you, it's 50-50. You can get it, you can lose it. And what makes majority of the farmers be successful, some few farmers become unsuccessful, some few farmers fail. Market, farming is all about market. And market has trends. There is market trend. And you cannot learn about market trend when you are outside farming. And if you are lucky to find a market trend, a good market trend, it's luck. But when you're when you're in the building now, in the farming building, that's when you can be able to run the market trend and be able to know this season for cabbage, this one I'm supposed to do maize, this one I'm supposed to do arrowroots, I'm supposed to do sweet potatoes, I'm supposed to do bananas, I need to keep chickens, I need to keep cows. Market trend. That is something that you need to monitor very closely, and you need to work with all stakeholders in agriculture so that you can be able to get the market trend. And talking of stakeholders is from input suppliers, that is the fertilizer and the seeds, the market itself where you're selling your produce, other farmers, you need to check up with them, compare your notes and be able to predict what you need at what time. Sometimes we usually go for the festive season, like we usually go for December season, we usually go for the maybe Pasaka seasons, thinking that this is the season that you are going to make good money. But sometimes we find ourselves in a corner making losses because we did bad decisions. Talking of the market, there are some people who have already the market, who already own the market. I know a farmer who does cabbages from January to December with a very good market. Why does she make good money, yet some other people you come and make like 100 heads of cabbages and you don't make money? Because this farmer, one, with his market trade, they are consistent. Whether there is cabbage in the market or there is no cabbage in the market has already trusted them. The people in the market have already trusted them that if you need cabbage, that is the person that you need to run to. So also on consistency is a spice to spice your market trend or to spice your market. Yes, that's the bare truth about marketing, and nothing more about marketing, unless we can reduce that. Number 3, from the market, today you may sell your farm produce at a very good price. Tomorrow you may not sell them not at a good price. A farmer who is your neighbor is selling something at a good price. You run into that type of farming and you make losses. Why is it so? And that is our point number 3. It's so because seasons are not the same. Even the good book in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, from verse 3, it talks about the season. There is a season for each and everything. A season to be born, a season to die, a season to plant, a season to harvest, a season for war, a season for peace. The same applies into farming. Seasons are not the same. Today you're making good profit. Tomorrow you're just in the market for the sake of maintaining your customers. Don't run away when the seasons are low. Make sure you go with the trend, because the seasons are not brought in by the people in the market who are selling their farm produce in the market. It's brought in by demand, the demand and supply. It's brought in by the consumer. The consumer is the boss. The consumer decides we are not, it's too hot. We are going to eat a lot of watermelons this season. It's them who've decided. It's raining. We are not going to eat your watermelon. You cannot beat them. And sometimes they tell you, we are not going to eat your watermelon. Come beat us. You cannot beat them. They are going to kill you if you try beating them. You can't. So always know that seasons are not the same. A very important point, which is point number 4, which is, I think this should have been the first point, is farming is capital intensive. Farming needs capital. Not that you need millions of money to start farming. You may be having millions of money and fail as a farmer. You fail as a farmer because the point that you've mentioned there before, you've not adhered to them. But now farming is capital intensive. So what do you need? Before you get into farming, before you get into a watermelon farming, into rice farming, into maize farming, make sure you have 70% of the capital that is needed into that. You need to know what you're going to use in that 1 acre, in that 1 hectare, in that 50 acres, in that 100 acres, in that 1,000 acres. You need to know, I need this amount of money. And now, before you start, 70%, you need it in your hand. The 30%, you need to make sure you get it before you are even at the middle of what you're doing. I once tried watermelon with little capital. I had some few money to buy seeds and fertilizer. I started. In the mid of the season, the capital went off. My watermelon needs irrigation. Diesel is not cheap. I was using diesel. It's not cheap. I ran up and down to my friends to try convince them to give me some few cash so that I can irrigate my watermelon. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. So this is purely from my heart, from the bottom of my heart, from experience, that you need capital, at least 70% of what you're supposed to use in your entire investment. Unless you're very sure that tomorrow you're going to get that money, you can start. But when you're starting, make sure you have that money. Point number 5, it's about consistency. And this has been my biggest song. It's about consistency in production. You want to get into farming, know that you're going to be consistent. If you know we have a break of around 4 months and it will be a hot weather break, or it will be a hot weather season, now you want to do watermelon, be consistent. If you can be able to produce on weekly basis, produce. If you can be able to produce on monthly basis, produce. If you can be able to produce continuously, even daily, produce. You better produce in small portions than take a huge land and produce once. Sometimes you take a large farm, you produce once, and sometimes the market fails to favor you. But once you're in your consistency, market fails to favor you today, it favors you tomorrow. Consistency. The consistency comes in now with our consumers. Remember, the consumer is the boss, and the consumer need to be consuming daily. When they are assured of what you're giving them on daily basis, they will always come to you, just like the shopkeeper. I've always been singing the song of the shopkeeper. But I'm been singing because you know I'm a preacher, I'm a bishop, so that's why I don't get tired in telling you about the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper, no matter what, you'll find them. They have sugar, they have flour, they have salt, they have cooking oil, they have everything that their consumer needs, and it's consistent because they know when you fail to get a bread in their shop today, you run to the next shop because they are not consistent in satisfying their consumer. So consistency is very key. It's very key. That is point number 5. Point number 6. It's a very dangerous point. Point number 6. Very dangerous point. Farming. Now, farming is not get rich quick scheme. Anybody who comes with the idea that you can make a lot of money in farming, they are lying to you. They are liars. They want to eat your money. They want to steal from you. Oh, you can come. Hey, I have a project. I have a big acre of 100 acres of land. I want to subdivide it and farm for you. You'll get 1 million at the end of the season. You'll get these. You can construct greenhouses in my farm and you'll be able to get this return when you invest this. That's a lie. They are lying to you. It's not a get rich quick scheme. I've been to this. I'm almost sitting a decade. Yes, into farming. I've seen so many companies failing because of these schemes, get rich quick schemes in farming. Let nobody lie to you. Come, we are going to give you the full story. You'll be conned. So farming is not a get rich quick scheme. Avoid that. Number 7. When you get into farming, so many things discourages farmers, so many things, among them the market, the weather patterns, farm workers, funny farm workers. So expect these challenges. There are so many challenges. So with all these challenges, remember your goal. Don't lose focus. Don't lose focus. Because farming needs a lot of your attention. Don't come into farming 2 months, 3 months, then you've just given up. Why did you even start? It's hard to start. Just because your farm workers have stolen your chemicals, your fertilizers, they have sold, which has been my experience. They have stolen a lot from me. They have even sold my farm tools, but I'm still in farming. Don't lose focus. Always know the goal. Trust the process. That is the keyword. That is the bottom line. Trust the process. And I'm assuring you, once you focus, you continue grading, you are going to win. Number 8, as you focus, the other secrets farmers need to know. You have consulted agronomists, you are consulting maybe my company, you are consulting me. But again, you also need to learn. You also need to invest in yourself. And learning, you need to look at books. You need to look at podcasts. You need to look at YouTube videos. And the bottom line, or the best learning class, is visiting other farmers, visiting exhibitions. That way you can be able to learn and be able to have knowledge and skills and be the best and the best of the best. Don't rely so much on your farm workers, on your managers, on your consultants. Don't rely so much. Also, you need to get these skills so that you can be a good farmer. Number 9, very important key. The consumer, who is our customer, always remember, there's something you need to always know, that the consumer always goes for the cheapest produce in the market. They will come go around to the whole market, or they'll go to different farms trying to compare prices, because they usually go for the cheapest. So how do you make sure that you produce uh, the cheap farm produce? Make sure the input that you use is good inputs. The input you use is good and it's cheap. I told you that expensive input is not quality input. So make sure that you use the quality input and cheap input. The bottom line is, produce more with less. Have as much as possible and produce with less capital, so that you can be very competitive in the market and consumers can take your farm produce and enjoy your farm produce. Number 10, copy pasting. Have your own plan. Don't do copy pasting. Cutting and copying from your neighbors, from other farmers, will never work on your side. Even if you cut and copy, make sure you cut and copy and plan. Develop a plan. Have a very good plan for what you're planning to do or for what you're doing. If you continue cut pasting, you don't know whether whoever you are cutting and pasting, they have special orders. You don't know what their market, whether they are producing for the animals, whether they are producing for their home consumption. But because you've seen somebody doing maize, you've run to do maize just to be like them. Avoid that. I hope you've learned something from our today's training. It's getting dark, so I need to run away from the studio. Hope you have enjoyed the serenity of my studio, where I come to relax after farming, before I go to the farm. Hope you've enjoyed and you've learned something. If this is your first time to be on this YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue learning together. Bye.